And that's what it sounds like when a 75-year-old fades out the audio. Guys loving it. Well, this is really exciting. And I can't believe I got this to work on my BlackBerry, but I did, and it's really a good feeling. Uh, this is the initial episode of the Scary Alvarez podcast, and I am very honored to have four very special guests today. Stacy and Todd Rucci, and then the Rucci brothers, as they say. But we're gonna do some stuff. You guys are gonna get a chance to talk and introduce yourselves. Of course, I need no introduction. Scary Alvarez. Anyone who's listening, I think the tens of people who are listening to this, right, it's gonna be amazing. So, but this is great though, because the first episode is sort of I can do the fake humble thing, and then the second episode it's going to be millions of people, and it's going to be great. They're going to have it on jets. It's going to be amazing stuff. But thank you all for hopping on today with me. So I just want to get started. I noticed that all y'all have the same last name, Rucci. Are you related?
Just a little.
Nolan was adopted. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty like.
I feel like there was a spoiler alert because you have Rucci brothers on there. So you guys are brothers?
Yeah, that might have been an easy tell.
Take it away.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, let's go around the room and have you all introduce yourselves. We can go clockwise, or we can start with Stacy and Todd and kind of work our way around and just tell. I'm sure that the fandom and my many millions of people watching are going to know who you are, but just pretend like you're meeting for the first time. Not like a Tinder date, but like an initial hello, first day of class kind of thing. It just got weird. It got weird early. All right.
Well, I'm Stacy Rucci, and I'm the mom of those two little boys right there. And we are from, do you want me to say where I'm from and all that kind of stuff?
Sure.
Yeah. We are from a little town called Lidditz, Pennsylvania. It's about an hour and a half west of Philly. So we're proud Littitzians. And Todd and I met 35 years ago.
Yeah.
At a little school called Penn State.
I've heard of it, unfortunately, and I'm gonna. I think Cindy's gonna get mad at me if I say Littitzian too many times. So I'll leave that to y'all. Todd, what's good? What's the good word?
Yeah, I'm Papa Ruch. It's obviously the father of these two guys. Played some football, coached some football, and had the pleasure of coaching these guys youth and high school. And it's been just a freaking blast to watch these guys come up and grow up and become young men and play the game. So we're just fans now. Stacy and I make a lot of road trips and watch these guys, kick ass in Badger uniforms, and it's pretty cool. We're excited.
Well, that's very cool, and that's a good setup for when I ask you who your favorite Badger is. Rucci brothers, let's go left to right. I do see my Twitter grandson there. For those of you who know, the real ones know. Hayden, why don't you kick it off here?
Yep, I am Hayden Rucci, the elder, but the shorter of the brothers. I'm going into my 5th year here at Wisconsin, and I play tight end.
And I am Nolan Rucci, the younger brother. Going in my 3rd year here at Wisconsin, studying environmental sciences, and I am going to be a tackle, or am a tackle.
Okay. I like the confidence. Well, I'm Scary Alvarez. I'm the king of Wisconsin Badger Twitter, as you might know. I'm a wine island enjoyer, a sherry wine destroyer, and Cindy's +1 when she'll have me. So. It's very exciting, and thank you all for all your pity likes over the years on Twitter. Stacy especially, I really owe you one. It's great. Sometimes it's
a stalker, so it's okay.
Yeah, it happens. It happens when you're bigger than life, like the Dawn is. Well, good. Well, I was going to ask, and again, Cindy got the best of me here. I was going to ask everyone what your favorite brand of sherry is, and she said no one who's under 70 knows what sherry wine is. Am I wrong there? Is that a Rucci family favorite?
Actually, my grandmother introduced us to sherry many years ago, and she would even her last few years when she was in the hospital, they would let her sneak in she would do little shots of sherry in the little paper cup pill cups.
Okay, it works in a Gatorade. It works in a Gatorade bottle too. So I've heard during games. That's awesome. Well, it's cool. Hey, I don't want to now. I know Nolan. You're not 21 yet, right?
No, I'll be 21 in about half a month. So yeah, still I've never had to drop the drink, unfortunately.
That's cool. So what's it going to be like in Madison, especially to finally get to taste your first drink?
I can't wait. I think my first beer is going to be a Spotted Cow.
That's awesome. And if you had a favorite bar, because I know you've never been to one, what would it be?
I always see guys going into some places on State Street. Wando's is one of them.
Wando. So like when you're on your way to when you both are on your way to the library, you'll sometimes see some of the kids heading over to Wando's to do a study group or something.
Exactly.
Oh, fantastic! That's good. This is a recruiting video too. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna do a lot of fun little games today, and this is one of those where I like to just I'm a wordsmith and I love words. So I'm gonna have each of you describe Madison, Wisconsin in one word, starting with let's start with Hayden.
Ooh. One word. It's tough to pin it down to one word.
That's already 7, Hayden.
I'll go fun.
I love it. You took the good one from everyone else. Nolan, what do you got?
Shoot, let's go picturesque. It's a very pretty city, right between both the lakes, and yeah, it's a cool view when you're driving by for sure.
Awesome. Stacy?
I would say active. Lots of bike lanes, a lot of water, being on the water in the winter and the summer, and yeah, that was more than one word too. But
no, it's fine. I relax the rules. I love seeing bikers in Madison when I'm in my limousine, and we always give them a wide berth and give them a little bit of extra room, or not. What do you got? Todd? They took several of the greatest words, but you seem like a guy who's got some words himself. So how do you describe Madison?
If I being up there for 5-6 years, getting to see the campus and everything that is available, the word would be opportunistic, because there is plenty of things to get into.
Yeah, that's I like how you put that. That's very true. Both good, bad, and in the middle. But Madison's got and I think people who haven't been there, they may have seen things on television and maybe heard about it and seen pictures in football games. But Madison really kind of has something for everyone. And it's I know once you get a kid up on a recruiting trip, provided it's not maybe like in December. I'm not sure when you all took your visit, but I would say go in May or June. That's when we like to bring people in. Just because it's yours was June.
Time to go.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, well, who cares about December or January?
Yeah.
Okay, so and this is for Stacy and Todd, and we have some general thoughts on this, but just kind of, and you can take whoever wants to take this. What's it like being a Wisconsin football parent?
Well, you know what? I'll let the queen of Wisconsin parents talk here, because she's always involved in doing a lot of organizing with a lot of the events. So
Dawn will not take any offense to that now that she's gone. Now that Jake's out of there. I know Dawn felt pretty. I'm not suggesting it's gonna be a cage match or anything between the two of you. I'm just yeah. So I like to talk.
Dawn was my buddy, so we're good.
Awesome.
No, I love being a Wisconsin parent. I kind of help with the newbies coming in and keep all the old parents in line. And we like to tailgate before games, and we like to tailgate at away games. And so I'm sure everyone. I'm like the one that sends all the emails out and everything like that. So
gotcha.
Parents and I've had a great time getting to know people from all over the U.S.
That's awesome. And if you are doing Madison the right way, you often tailgate when there's no game. It's just kind of what y'all do.
Yep.
Yeah. Good stuff. So Nolan and Hayden, and I can there'll be times when we just ask one of y'all something, but and this isn't. I'm not trying to give you a tough pop quiz here. I don't think Fleck is going to be watching this, but it's possible. What are some of the biggest changes that you all have noticed in the football program since Luke took over in November?
I can go. I think everything is just faster paced, whether it's practice, workouts, meetings. Everything's a million miles an hour, and you got to be on top of it, which I think is awesome because it challenges everybody every day, no matter what setting you're in, whether we're in the weight room, on the practice field, or in the meeting room. You really got to be on top of your stuff. And like I said, it just challenges everybody. And I think it's going to be awesome going into the fall with that.
It seems like the kids are excited. And of course, no one needs to compare Coach Fickell to me. That would be a very unfair situation for anyone. That's and I don't want to be that specter looking over the program. It's going to be a totally different situation. I think it's kind of interesting with McIntosh forging his own way now, kind of out from under my rather robust shadow. It's been really interesting as now a fan of the program to see how things have changed and progressed. So I'm very confident. I'm very excited about the future. So my unpaid intern, or one of them, tells me y'all are from Pennsylvania. That's not a question. I'm just processing it. Nolan, Hayden, what's your favorite things to do outside in Madison in the winter when it's 5 below?
Ooh, the winter. It's easy to say summer, but during the winter and we're outside. Actually, this winter was our first time going ice fishing, and I hate to say that I've been here for 4 winters before that, and I hadn't gone ice fishing. So last winter, I definitely had to do it. Me, Nolan, and one of our teammates, CJ Getz, went up north to Green Lake, Wisconsin, went ice fishing. Unfortunately, we didn't get any fish, but we did have a great time sitting out in the lake.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow day on Green Lake, but it was still a good time, getting a little experience out in the ice, and we'll be back next year. Hopefully catch a few more.
That's good. Keep me posted. And again, kind of like with the tailgating, it is my understanding, although I would have people catch the fish for me. I'm kind of in a different tax bracket. Sometimes I'd send Beelam out, but he'd stop and get a McFish, a McChicken, and it's fine. Another story. Long John Silver's. It's fine. These are I just got to process this stuff in groups sometimes, but we'll get to Beelam later. But I do know that ice fishing is a super important thing, and it isn't necessarily about the fish. It's about the camaraderie and maybe the cold thing you have in your mitten during the ice fishing. At Nolan, that I'm referring to beer. So you'll check this out sooner or later. Yeah. Hopefully you and your brother can crack open a good one. Spotted cow, I think you said you wanted. So I'll have someone send a case of that over on the Wisconsin football program is dying.
Hey, Terry, what Nolan didn't tell you is that he's turning 21 like the very first week of training camp when they're over in Platteville. So don't think he'll really be celebrating until probably, well, let's say mid to late January.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, Platteville is gorgeous in August. I hope. You guys have AC this year?
I hope so, but I've heard people call it the Aruba of the Midwest. So,
yeah. Oh, it's delightful. The Aruba of the Midwest. That is one of the islands of the Caribbean I do not own. Is that in the Caribbean? Well, I don't own it. Either way, I don't own it. I have wine islands on some. It's fine. That's another day. This is not about me. It is about me. So this is for anyone. So some of these, you're just going to have you all jump in whenever you want to. This is bulletin board territory. So I'm going to set the alarm off here. I understand if you all want to not answer these types of questions, it might be better for the parents, but I'm commanding you to answer them just the same. Who is the most overrated coach in the Big Ten, and why is it PJ Fleck?
Take that
awkward silence.
Well, I think like for Todd and I, at least, we were athletes at Penn State before we were in the Big Ten. So we do not have quite the hatred that a lot of like the perennial Big Ten teams have. So, and the boys were recruited by a lot of those schools. So I kind of liked a lot of the coaches, but I don't really have any.
Oh, that's no fun. No. Which one did you not like? I'll tell you what. Just give.
Well, he's no longer coaching. He's no longer coaching. So.
Can I use a rhyme? Matt Litzmerald.
What?
Matt Litzmerald. Does it rhyme with Matt Litzmerald?
No.
Fitzgerald? Too soon? Okay.
Too soon.
That's too soon, Scary. That is way too soon.
Okay. Well, it wouldn't be the first time. So says Cindy. But anyway, so yikes. So PJ Fleck, anyway, get back to PJ Fleck if you insist. The one thing I like to, I have a little bit of an issue with PJ on Twitter and his 19 actual hardcore fans. And I try to remind them that PJ is 500 in the Big Ten after 8 full years, heading into his 8th year in the Big Ten. And apparently that's a big deal for Minnesota. So maybe I shouldn't be so mean and just understand and going 3-3 against Wisconsin, that's an incredible life-changing historical accomplishment for a Minnesota coach. And maybe I'm being a little too hard on PJ. Not biting. Okay.
Yeah, no locker room talk here until we beat them.
This wasn't, well, when, not if. But thank you. I appreciate it. And Rucci brothers, you guys passed that test. Let me tell you.
Yep.
I could tell Fickell if somehow someone straps Fickell down and glues his eyes open so he watches this, he's probably like nodding, going, "These guys are smart." I'm trying to create bulletin board material. This is cheaper than group for me. So, So Hayden and Nolan, this is another one, probably not as tough as the anti-PJ Fleck bait. Who is your favorite ex-NFL offensive lineman?
I was always a big Nate Soldier fan when he played for the Pats.
Okay.
I love watching him, especially when that was when the Pats were at their best. And it was growing up a Pats fan, it was a good last 20 years or so. They're down on their luck past year or so, but they'll be back, I think.
I know everyone feels so sorry for Bill Belichick. Hey, I'm not sure if you guys have heard the expression softball, but anyway, this is one of them. I'm trying to give it to you. Hayden, who's your favorite ex-NFL offensive lineman?
I'll go another Patriots. I'll go Matt Light.
Matt Light, okay. Which is ironic because he wasn't light. He was actually quite hefty.
Yes.
Stacy, let me ask you this. While we're on the subject of ex-Patriots offensive linemen, let me even break it down. Who's your favorite ex-Patriots offensive lineman? You don't have to go NFL. Just anyone come to mind?
Big guy right here.
Oh, there's just
71.
I'm going to play the Jump Around song again. That's great.
Scary. My mom doesn't even think she doesn't even like me either. So
you can't tee it up like that too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I appreciate that, boys.
Yeah. Well, as an ex-Green Bay Packer, as a current Green Bay Packer fan who saw the Packers beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, I believe when you were there, you were one of my favorite ex-offensive linemen in the NFL. So thank you for your service. I really appreciate it, Todd.
Yeah, you're welcome. You and Reggie. You're welcome.
Still seeing rest in peace. Still seeing Desmond Howard running this day. That was crazy.
Yeah.
So I will say that the Green Bay Packer fans were the nicest fans I've ever been around.
Yeah. There was a high correlation between how drunk they are and how nice they are. I'm not saying it's not inherent, but as long as you get it before the loss. Because I think this season I'm a little concerned that the niceness level of the Packer fans as a general matter is going to drop a little bit when they, I don't want to promise. I think it might be a little bit of a rough year for the Pack. I don't know. You guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see him this year without Rodgers in town, but I think they have a shot.
It's going to be interesting with Rodgers, by the way. We don't have to make this a Rodgers thing, but to get his post-game questions in Green Bay are like, hey, what's your favorite color? Do you like Butterburgers? What's your middle name? I feel like the questions in New York are going to be a little tougher for Aaron, and whatever kind of skinny is going to need. It's going to be a real interesting anthropological exercise to watch how that goes. You guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think comparing Packers fans to New York fans is there's some stark differences. Throwing shade on New York fans, but I don't think we'll have such an easy time after games.
Yeah,
agreed. Todd, I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, hopefully Tip can help them out there, and they do have a good year. Since Joe's going to be handing the ball to him, about 80 times a game, so hopefully that'll work out. But yeah, it's New York fans in general are intense. I think they're and they're an old rival, and I will say that if they do actually have a fairly decent season, it could be interesting because they've been starving for it. So, as just an NFL fan, I hope it works out for the Jets and Tip and Rodgers. So it's all good.
I'd love to see Tippmann have a really, really big year, and Rodgers to play 65% of the games or more. Just kind of throwing that number out there, and the Jets to win as many games as necessary for the Packers to have a high draft pick. That's where I am. I'm a big Packer guy, and so however successful a season the Jets can have within that context, I am the biggest Jets fan in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Keep Rodgers upright. Keep Rodgers upright, Tippmann. This is only for two of you. It's fun to get from all four, but who can eat the most of all of you? This is for Stacy and Todd. Which of you two eats the most?
Out of us two?
Yeah.
Well, that's easy. I probably can. Out of all four, I would say I'm probably Hayden and I are probably the best. I don't know lately if Hayden if it was a match between Hayden and I, but that'd be pretty good. I'm going to say me though, just because I'm pompous.
Oh, that's perfect. Pompous, what's that? just kidding. I know what pompous is. I'm very good at it. I'm the best at being humble, as the kids say. But well, that's good to hear, and I'd love to sometime we can all break bread together, and I can stick you out with a check. So this is another one for Todd and Stacy. This is going to be a tricky one. Who's your favorite child and why?
I was waiting for it. Yeah.
Well, I grew up a coach's daughter, and my dad, his big saying was number 87 and number 66 in the program, number 1 in my heart.
Yeah,
that is a fantastic answer.
Yeah, it's going back and forth. Depending. I think Saturday, Nolan was out in the lead. Sunday, it was kind of tied up, and I haven't decided Monday yet. So we'll see. It's just like football. It's your last play. How you're judged by your last play. So, right now I would say Hayden's leading, but tomorrow's a new day. We'll see how it goes, and I'll let them know. We'll
that sounds. Yeah, that sounds great. Hey, Nolan, send your dad and mom like a text with little emojis with like hearts in their eyes, and be like, "I really love you guys."
You might not live after that.
I don't want to create any trouble here, but it's kind of similar to me as a grandfather. People ask me who my favorite grandson is, and they say, "Is it Joe or is it Jake?" And I say, "Who's Joe?" I have no idea who Joe Ferguson is, but it's fine. But so you guys are better parents than I'm a grandparent. But anyway, I'm gonna research it. I'm gonna go Wikipedia Joe Ferguson right after we get off here. So Hayden and Nolan, this is another one. This is a trap question. Will it feel strange this year never punting from your opponent's 35-yard line?
Yeah, I think it will. I think it'll be a lot more fun too. Be a little more enjoyable for us and the fans, hopefully.
I'm gonna make fun of Chris while I can before he takes over Northwestern and hires Jim Leonard. We have this is the thing we can't talk about. Okay, we're within that zone right now. Hayden, getting back to you, can you describe the joy you've had at being my Wisconsin Badger grandson last season, replacing Jake?
I remember when I first got the news, I couldn't believe it. Really, I thought I was still sleeping. And I can't tell you how big of an honor it was to go last season as your honorary grandson. Hopefully I lived up to the standards, and we'll see if I can earn that title again next season.
Yeah, you're a returning starter for that position, so it's good to have you. And I know it probably ranks a little bit above the bowl game touchdown, but I really think you did Jake proud. It was like a Jake Hayden moment, and it was just a confluence. It was beautiful, and if I had tear ducts, I would have been crying, which of course I don't. Nolan, has that created any tension in your house?
Honestly, a little bit. I think it may have inched Hayden out for a few days as far as the favorite child race, but obviously that's an award. I was proud of him, and I think that's something I'd be proud to keep in the family. I don't know if I think that's something we keep in the tight end room, but if he wins it again next year, and then I'll happily but begrudgingly support him.
I appreciate that. That's a very good answer, and it may have to be a situation where we expand who can be my Wisconsin Badger grandson outside of the tight ends room onto the offensive line, which I think is actually a natural move. So I don't get cocky or anything. I haven't even decided yet, and who knows? But you seem like a great kid. So you just kind of shadow your brother there and see how he does things this season again, and we'll go from there. We're going to play a word association game. I love these games. These are fun games. I can see your faces right now. You're excited as I am. What is the first thing that comes to mind when I say the following things? I'm going to kind of go around the room here. Todd, Brian Ferentz. I think that's your answer.
Yeah.
Oh, he just scored on you. Just kidding.
I have a tough time criticizing anybody that we haven't beat, and so I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I have no comment. We don't deserve to have a comment on that one yet.
That's a very good, very stoic answer, similar to something I would do. And it doesn't, to be clear, it doesn't have to be a criticism. It can be anything. So it can be like offensive genius, potentially. Probably not though, huh? Nolan, we'll get back to this. Wandos.
Ooh.
Someday?
Yeah, someday. That's a good one.
I can read your mind, buddy.
The words run out.
He's seen.
And this is one. This is someone I like very much. I want to give this one to Hayden. Graham Mertz.
Graham Mertz, brother.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know all the you guys obviously are very close to Graham. I hope other Badger fans are joining me in wishing him nothing but great success with the Gators this year. There is no one outside the Wisconsin Badger room who's not in the NFL playing for the Cowboys named Jake Ferguson that I'm rooting for more this season than Graham to come through and have a great experience. So I know you guys are very close to him, and we'll see how it goes. But it sounds like he's doing really well so far. So
yeah, he is, and we're all rooting for him.
Yeah. Stacy, I'm going to keep doing this. PJ Fleck.
Boat.
I'm sorry, what was that? Boat. Yeah. And by the way, you don't have to worry about ever being PJ Fleck's bulletin board material because everything on PJ Fleck's bulletin board is PJ Fleck. So you don't have to worry about anything else. And this is for Todd and Stacy. Luke Fickell.
Juice.
Control of everything. Like he just has he's like a silent, like you can just kind of see him like reading the room and knowing where all the players fit into it. Smart guy. It seems like that's very good. I remember coaching against the Ohio State teams when he was a player for the Buckeyes, and you could tell even along the line that he was one of the guys who was vocal and telling people where to be, even though that's typically a linebacker job. And you could see that he was doing that, and he's really one of my favorite Buckeyes. Obviously, a distant second place after John Cooper, who Wisconsin beat many times, and we really wish he'd come back to Ohio State. But Fickell, he seemed like he was a good guy, and I'm very excited to see what he can do.
Yeah.
So are we.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's talk about Squat Fest. That ring a bell? I recently squatted 600 pounds. Rucci brothers, how'd y'all do?
I didn't. The last time that I maxed out was about 2 years ago. I haven't maxed out since then just to keep my body in shape for playing. But I think I hit like 405 on Squat Fest Day. So not my best.
That's pretty. It's pretty good. It's not Alvarezian, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nolan, you do Squat Fest?
Yeah, I think my last, we didn't even go like one rep maxes. I think I did 460 for 3, and I felt like I could have got one more. But it was a good day for me. It was a lot of fun under the lights, a little bit of pressure too. But it was good.
It is, and the masks on. I saw that Braylon Allen had a mask on. It looked like some sort of character. Would it be weird to have a mask like a I don't know like a Paul Chris mask or PJ Fleck mask? Would that be like does it get weird? Like it becomes like an eyes wide shut situation, or is it like what is it? Are you allowed to have character masks? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that mask came from. I turned to watch Braylon's reps, and he just had it on. So I didn't see any other masks besides that one. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one they've seized upon as the fun one. I don't know. It could be a Barry Alvarez mask next time, whatever. But who knows? Okay, so Nolan and Hayden, who's faster at destroying a pizza?
Ooh. Pizza. If I had an empty stomach, I think I could put a pizza back probably faster than Hayden. But I don't know. That's not a competition that we've had as brothers. So that may be a game time decision. See.
Yeah, I mean, humbly, and I'll say Nolan, but I'm not slow.
You got some stuff. You got some juice, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
I was back in the day. I'd like to grab a delicious pizza pit, Badger Budget Buster. Back when I was on campus, I think that place may have faded out by now. What's the happening pizza place for the football gang these days?
We usually go either Ian's or I hate to say like a big chain, but
that's okay.
Domino's deals with the coupons. It's like $6.99 for a medium 2-topping pizza, and usually we'll just get all the boys together and everybody gets a personal medium 2-topping pizza. So
I am top bread guy, but that's just a personal preference.
And I cannot forget to give a shout out to Rocky Rococo's, even though there's a Rocky Rococo's in walking distance of our house. It has recently closed, which was a big heartbreak. So now to get the delicious Rockies, we got to go outside of town. But yeah, Rockies is also on there.
Yep.
That's terrible. And remember Rocky Rococo, the actual guy who was named Rocky Rococo? Is he still kicking around, or I don't know what happened to that guy? He's kind of he wears like a white suit, kind of dresses like a pimp, but it's not. I'm sure that's not what he was doing.
Yeah, I've seen him on the walls inside Rocky Rococo's. That's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Okay. I'm hungry for some pizza now. By the way, Rocky, Domino's, you just became a sponsor of the Scary Alvarez podcast. Congratulations, Domino's. I think we're doing an NIL thing. This just happened. Okay, this is exciting.
Go.
So, Todd, tell me something funny about Stacy no one knows.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Watch yourself.
Yeah.
You can live with tonight, that you can live with, and still sleep not on the couch.
No, I don't think it's Stacy is. People have always said, obviously I played in the league for a little bit and played ball, but Stacy, and she knows this. I say this all the time, but she's the athlete in the family. She can pretty much do anything if you hand her a ball of some sort. Shoot it, throw it. She can ski, ice skate, play field hockey, do anything. So I think the girth was able to hand the boys some genetics on that side, but the athleticism for sure comes from her side. That's why I married her, to be honest with you.
I love it.
Yeah,
that's a great answer, Todd. You're doing it right, man. You're doing it right. I need to take some notes for you when I'm dealing with my lovely wife. Stacy, same thing with Todd.
What was was it the funniest thing?
No, just something that no one knows, like something that's cool, an interesting fact, like a cool thing.
What's an interesting fact about you? Wow,
let it rip.
I know.
I have 2.
You have 2?
Yeah.
It can be funny. I said funny when I talked to Todd about it, so it doesn't have to be funny, but that would be great.
Don't ever make him eat a piece of cantaloupe.
Yep.
Is that what you're going to use? Because he may or may not have almost strangled Hayden when he was 5 for putting a piece of cantaloupe on his tongue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cantaloupe's really disgusting.
It is. It's awful. It's a devil's fruit. It's awful. It shouldn't.
Or honeydew. It's just cantaloupe and honeydew, watermelon. That's okay. The other 2.
Garbage.
Cantaloupe and honeydew, it's the sinewy nature of it, along with the sickeningly sweet. I feel like it's what they bring to a fruit fly's funeral. It's like, come on, man, this is disgusting. This is terrible. So I will not be buying Todd any
don't even bring a salad that once had it in it and you picked it out, because he knows and he will still not eat it.
Yeah.
I will make the Woodman's people pick out every single piece of cantaloupe or honeydew melon before I bring it over to your party. How about that?
There we go.
Rucci brothers, Nolan, something funny about your brother that no one knows. Maybe not even him.
Oh, actually, he's really good at Guitar Hero. A lot better than I am. I'd say he can play Fire Through the Flames on Expert, and I suck at it. And, that's something I aspire to be.
That's great. Do they have any Weezer on that game still?
Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock. Actually, I don't know if they do. They might have one song, but I'm not
Gotcha. Well, I hope not. Hayden, same thing.
Nolan is actually far and away the best dancer of the family. He's got some moves that if you catch him in the right setting, he will surely bust out. So, yeah.
Well, let's explore this, because I love kind of an inside the player's studio kind of vibe on this. What would be that setting where your brother would break out his dance moves, maybe hypothetically or maybe something less than hypothetical?
In the locker room, a wedding. Anytime there's an area wider than like 6 feet, because he needs a lot of room for these said moves. So any large area, I'd say.
Not Wando.
No, not Wando.
Not Wando's. Not Wando's. Let's say on a Saturday night at 11:30 after a win. Definitely not then.
Yeah.
Do you have a name for your moves?
No, not in particular. It's really whatever I'm feeling that day. It's it really depends on the song too. If it's going to be like a country kind of square dance type deal, or if something a little more modern. If it's some rap music.
I already trademarked it. It's the Rucci Scoochie, and it's probably good with early '90s rap. That's what I'm going to say, because that's when I stopped listening to it. Those damn kids today.
They know it all, Scary. They know all of the 80s, 90s, the stuff that you would have probably listened to back in your day, even the old 60s, 70s, and they know it all. They know every one of those songs.
That's amazing. Did you guys teach them that, or is it something they picked up in Madison?
I would say
this is from long ago, like car rides. Mainly car rides. We just be listening to like Run DMC, Heavy D and the Boys, Beastie Boys, just a lot of throwback rap and hip hop.
You were taught well, clearly, by your mom and dad, because that's some good stuff. I try to steep Jake and allegedly Joe, whoever that is, in those sorts of things. I was a big Commodores guy back in the '70s before I was at Iowa and Notre Dame later. People didn't know how sweet my feet are. My feet are sweet. Okay, this is between the five of us. No one's going to see this. The five of us and the other three people that are going to jump on later. But that's good. It's fine. I mean, I know I had the hip thing and all that stuff, but when look, I wrote a 4.44, not 40, but 4, and I just wanted you to know I got the moves, and I do it slowly, but I make sure it gets done. So. Hayden and Nolan, you guys, whoever wants to take this can do it. And this is another one. It's not a gotcha question, but it's just, the whole season is in front of you. What are you both seeing as the biggest challenge for this year's Wisconsin team, or the most exciting challenge? And it doesn't have to be a negative, but what's kind of like when you're thinking about this season, what kind of says this is something we got to conquer?
I would just say, looking back in the past couple of years, is putting together great defense and great offense, because we've had times where we've had both, but I don't know about always at the same time, and I think that's what we've been missing over the past couple of years that I've been here, and I think that's what we can do to be great this year and have our best season.
Love it, Nolan.
I think obviously I think the end of last season really didn't go how we wanted it to, going 1-4. And I think our biggest challenge, I think for us, is to just keep a full head of steam the whole season, and just kind of ride the wave of success, and hopefully, end up on top.
That's good. That's good. However successful Wisconsin ends up being, and however more potent the offense ends up being, will a small part of you guys miss seeing and handed it off to Braylon Allen into a 9-man box just to see what he can do?
Yeah. When I didn't have the crown of my helmet jammed in D lineman, from what I did see in the replays. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun not running against 9 people in the box next year.
Yeah, look, let me tell you, they can put 9 people in the box this year, but I don't think it's going to go very well for teams who maybe they'll forget and be like, hey, this is 2022 Wisconsin. We can stack the line, and then it's going to be lights out. But it was always interesting seeing y'all pushing and having everyone on their team. In fact, I think sometimes they stack more than 9. I think sometimes the other team had like 12 or 13 or 14. They'd sneak extra guys out in the field, and I'm excited as someone who loves. You probably know from my past, I just love downfield passing. So it's so exciting to see that there might be some differences in the offense this year. And I think keeping the defense honest is a real neat, exciting thing that I'm looking forward to seeing.
For sure.
Todd and Stacy, we're almost done here. We're going to wrap up and let you guys get to your night. Are you all in favor of selling beer at Wisconsin football games rather than requiring fans to bring it inside their bloodstreams?
Yes. I'm 100% for it. Matter of fact, I would campaign on it if there's anything I can do, Scary. I think it's a great idea. Just as being a parent, tailgating. We do a pretty good job. I think we're getting better year after year, being in the right mindset. But it makes it hard when you don't have the tools that you need to be in the stadium. And listen, if there's something that we can do to be able to have that within arm's reach, I think we would be better as fans. We'd be better as parents, and I think that would help kind of bleed into the field and help these guys. So I'm all for it. I'm a big fan of it. I miss it. And I think that's something we should talk to Mac about and see if we can't get that together in the next couple months.
Oh, well, I have. And by the way, cool dad. That is a great idea. And I know that as players, gentlemen, having fans be able to enjoy the beverage of their choice could potentially lead to more boisterous results from the fans. The other thing is getting rid of this single file line bullshit on the filling the student section. When I started in 1990, the year 1990 was my first year. That's the year Don Morton went 1-10 when I was coaching. We started the next year at 5-6. What are you going to say? It was his guys I was playing with. I'm starting 190-pound offensive lineman. What do you want me to do? It was a free for all. You get these kids the 7 games for $35. That's not coming back, by the way. And you open the door, and it was just catch as catch can, and that worked. And even with a team that was not very successful, those kids were there, and they got there was some incentive for getting there early, but it just the stuff where you have a national TV game, it's the big noon kickoff or something, and you're looking at 7 minutes into you guys see it as players, I'm sure. 7 minutes into the first quarter, and you're a third of the student section full, and it's not because they're not there; it's because they're waiting in a line. We all good with getting rid of that?
Yes, it's the most frustrating thing to not have a packed house at kickoff. I mean, that's what you want for home field advantage, and seeing people still filing in as we're kicking the ball off. It's frustrating.
It's ridiculous, and I'm going to talk to Mac on one of these as long as he doesn't watch this one, and he's going to agree. And I'm going to tell him you don't send at the beginning of a game three players out on defense. And then sub one in 2 minutes later, and then it's the same thing. You gotta get those kids in there. So I'm gonna do what I can with my my modest influence I still have. I still have my email address and everything. I still got my phone number, so feel free to call. But we're gonna see what we can do about both of those things. And Todd, getting back, we don't want to bury the lead here. The beer thing, that's very important, and we're gonna work on getting that done.
Yeah, I think if you can listen, with all the changes that have happened over the past 10 months, I think those two things. Number one would be getting the students in the stadium, because they're going to do their job and be in the right mindset no matter what. I mean, they're great. They're great at that. It's what they do. And they'll have tools with them no matter whether you're selling it or not. But I think if you did make it available for the parents, and then I think we could all be great. I think everyone in that stadium would be great come game day. So I think there's potential. There's a lot of potential.
There's great potential, and again, money to be made for no other reason. But I will say that maybe there could be a special, like, up into and including like kickoff. Maybe the beer's $1 cheaper or something. I mean, they're all kind. I got that brain; it's never stopping. I just keep thinking of these great ideas, and I'm gonna talk to Mac, and we're gonna get this going.
Hey, how about throwing dollar pitchers? I think that would probably
dollar pitchers. Absolutely, you could do poppers, all kinds of stuff. Maybe get some funnels. Who knows? And then we can stop the indignity of having a fake colostomy bag that's carrying like brandy or something. I mean, come on, man. This is tough stuff. So we're going to try and avoid that kind of stuff. Hayden and Nolan, this might be the last question I'm going to ask unless I change my mind. Which I tend to do. Can you guys each give me two breakout players? 2 breakout players on offense, 2 breakout players on defense, and 2 breakout kickers.
Offense, I mean, an easy one is Braylon, obviously. But I think with our new offense, I'm going to go Tanner Mordecai and we'll go Chim.
Gotcha. DK, Chim or DK. Yeah. He's a good player.
I guess we'll go defense. I think Hunter Wooler is definitely going to be a breakout guy for this year. And who else? Probably Muma, Jung Meta. See both those guys having breakout years.
Awesome, love it. And how are the freshmen looking?
Freshmen looking good. Yeah, we got some big dudes, some size. We're always at different workout times, so I haven't seen their speed as much yet, but I'm confident.
Have you guys done the thing where you throw them in the lake yet? You tape them in bubble wrap and throw them. You guys still do that?
Well, with the recent things coming out, we are staying clear of anything of that sort. So.
That was a trick question, and you passed with flying colors.
Yep.
It's Pat Fitzgerald Day here on the Scary Alvarez podcast. Guys, I cannot tell you how exciting it has been for all of you to be on my podcast. I'm sure you guys are having a great time. But from the bottom of my heart, whether I live to 100 or 150, I'm going to remember this day because this was the inaugural episode of what is sure to be the finest Wisconsin Twitter coach parody account themed podcast in all of Wisconsin football by a wide margin. You guys are a great family. I've enjoyed interacting with all 4 of you, in other contexts and social media and stuff. And I could not be more excited about Hayden and Nolan, about your season coming up. I think you're great kids, and I wish you nothing but the best for this upcoming season. Jump on and talk again, maybe after McIntosh agrees to the pregame boost stuff.
Thank you, Scary, and thank you for making me chuckle on a daily basis. In the craziness of what is now college football, it's nice to laugh.
Well, I appreciate that, and I can say from the bottom of my heart that you and Todd have been not only great parents and supportive of your kids. You take a very reasoned approach to things, and I've always been impressed with that. You kind of take the time to analyze what's going on and don't make snap judgments. You're willing to see what someone comes in and what the situation is like. So I couldn't be more excited for the season for all y'all and on Wisconsin. Let's do this.
On Wisconsin.
Yeah. Let's go.
Have a great night. Yeah, there it is. My hands are stuck right now. I'm trying to do the W thing, but they're stuck. Cindy super glued them together. I'm late for dinner, so I gotta get going. All right.
All right,
bye.
Good, man.
Yeah, y'all take care.